Kenyans are a reason why Kenyan politicians are corrupt, Okiya Omtatah says.
Politics is a service, not a career. People should come into politics to serve, not to make money. And that's one thing that has been lost in this country, and that's why everybody thinks that when you go to politics, you have struck gold. You have been elected there, you have struck gold, and everybody comes begging money from you. And it forces many people to become thieves or to compromise here and there to be able to achieve that. Even sometimes in your oversight role, you get MPs, sometimes they're compromised to take some money, and the reason they're taking this money is because they've got illegitimate expectations to meet out there. So we also need to do heavy civic education and political education to get the masses to move away from the culture of demanding money from politicians. A politician is not a welfare system. A politician is not a charity. A politician is supposed to be a servant. And therefore the idea of associating a politician with money is one thing that we must kill by first and foremost getting the treasury away from the control of politicians. Because when a politician goes to church and donates 20 million shillings before on national TV, everybody knows that politics equals money. Politics should never equal money. Politics should equal ideas for progress. How are we going to, I got these people here, we had 10 kilometers of tarmac. How do we make them 11 kilometers of tarmac? That kind of thing should be there. Not saying my Mercedes is bigger than your Mercedes. No. That's not politics. So, we want to go about the politics whereby politics is about converting the resources people have into wealth, putting food on people's tables, giving them opportunities to grow new wealth, creating investment vehicles. People can invest and grow their wealth.
At some point, I talked about civic responsibility, that you as a citizen, you have a responsibility, not just politicians. And when you look at corruption, it is true that Kenyans demand money from politicians. They associate politicians with money. So that is where corruption begins. If we can address that and citizens also take responsibility and remember that they are also contributing to this problem, then the fight against corruption can succeed. But at this moment where citizens just feel politicians own money and the work is to ask money from them, it becomes difficult to fight corruption. Okiya Omtatah has been consistent in calling out the corrupt and asking Kenyans to take responsibility. He has exposed many corruption scandals in this country. He has talked about, public debt where money is borrowed. When transparency and accountability is demanded, those who borrow don't give information. So at the end of it, money is borrowed, but we cannot account for that. Recently, Okiya Omtatah exposed a loss of 5.2 billion Kenyan shillings in Busia County, where county officials can't account for all that money. And when you go to Busia town itself, the town is dusty, it is murky. So it shocks you that money has been lost. When you go to Busia County Referral Hospital, there's no proper medication. In fact, right from the gate, the toilets are there and they're stinking. But you only hear that money has been lost. For sure, what kind of humanity is that? So corruption is mega in this country. So fighting corruption is crucial if we want to secure our nation.
Kana imeibwa kule kwenye hiyo bajeti ni shilingi kadri ya bilioni 5.2. Na hiyo kwa na mwenye yeyote ambaye anaishi Busia, ukienda Busia utapata ni kweli hakuna mambo yote ambayo inaendelea kwenye ground kwa sababu hakuna pesa inafanya kazi kule. Lakini ukitembea kule utapata kwamba wafanyikazi wa county wanaendesha magari makubwa, wamejenga manyumba makubwa ya kifahari, wamenunua manyumba za kibiashara na zinajulikana penye ziko. Lakini hakuna maendeleo yote ambayo inapatikana kwenye eneo bunge, eneo gatuzi. Na isitoshe, labda mtauliza ni kwa nini mambo gani EACC na Auditor General na wengine wamefanya. ni kama hao watu wamewekwa kwenye mfuko. Ukipeleka ripoti kule kwa EACC haishughulikiwi, haiendi popote. Ukipiga ripoti kwa Auditor General haishughulikiwi, haiendi popote. Na wizi kwa ground unaonekana. Ndio maana nikasema wacha ni tafute wataalamu wanisaidie kukagua hizi vitabu, na watakayopata nitatangaza kwa umma, ndio nione kama EACC watachukua hatua yote ama kama Auditor General atachukua hatua yote, na kuna wale watu wa serikali wa asset recovery kama watachukua hatua yote kukabiliana na hao watu, kuhakikisha kwamba hizo pesa ambazo ziliibiwa zinarejeshwa.
Corruption in Kenya is a national security threat. I don't know how we take it, but that is the case. No lie, corruption destroys society. Look at what has happened in Nepal. Okay, people suffer, but those in government still. So it reaches a point where people are like, no, this is too much. We can't continue to bear this, especially young people who are jobless and seeking opportunities which they don't get while their leaders swim in opulence. It reaches a point where people really get tired. And this has just happened in Nepal. You know what has happened? I don't have to talk about it because it is something that is already in public. It is all over. So I don't want to do any commentary on that. So should Kenyans also take responsibility for the ongoing corruption in the country?